What is up, everybody? This is the Chicago Sports Talk Michael back at it again with another video. We're going to have to talk about the Patrick Mahomes syndrome, and y'all will be new to this, so I'm going to explain to you what the Patrick Mahomes syndrome is and how it's affecting NFL fans viewing the NFL. So people think coaching does not matter anymore in the NFL because Patrick Mahomes proved in his young career that he won 2 Super Bowls and he has been to AFC conference championships. I really am getting tired of my own fan base still bringing up the whole 2017 NFL draft like Mahomes was a generational prospect. Why don't you go look at that draft class again? People were saying Trubisky and Watson were better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was viewed as a project quarterback that they said he was going to be a bust if he didn't go to a team that didn't sit him behind Alex Smith. Y'all forgetting that Patrick Mahomes went to the Kansas City fucking Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have been in the playoffs for years before Patrick Mahomes. That was the perfect fucking scenario for him. He had Tyreek Hill early on in his fucking NFL career, and he has a good head coach in Andy Reid. If he went to any other organization, aka the Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, he would have been an absolute bust. Because those two franchises, by the time, had terrible head coaches, and don't forget the Cleveland Browns were atrocious. I believe that following year they went 0-17 or not 0-17, 0-16. And the Chicago Bears have been atrociously bad with head coaching with John Fox and Matt Nagy, only having one success in 2018. And I'm tired of this whole Patrick Mahomes was a generational talent. He wasn't viewed as a generational talent. I'm tired of generational talent BS. If anyone was close to a generational talent, actually not close to, was a generational talent entering the draft, was Andrew Luck. And you saw how the Colts ruined Andrew Luck because he had a terrible head coach and it was a terrible organization because they never addressed the O-line, and their only good receiver in Andrew Luck's good years was T.Y. Hilton. I'm sorry, Mahomes would have been an absolute bust on the Bears. He would not have Andy Reid. He would not have Tyreek Hill early on in his career. Patrick Mahomes is literally in the perfect scenario where he has a good head coach. Yeah, his weapons may not be world beaters, but he still has one of the best tight ends in the NFL. People think that coaching does not matter anymore in the NFL. And to be honest, it's a mix of both. Having a head coach and having a quarterback are both two combo relationships to recipe for a good success. Jalen Hurts, for example, was in the perfect scenario, having one of the best offensive lines in the NFL and having he has AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and he has a good coaching staff that can utilize his strengths. Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett would have been bums if they were not drafted to their teams. The 49ers were a stacked roster when Brock Purdy came in. Brock Purdy is not that nice. I guarantee if you put Brock Purdy on any other team like the fucking Panthers, he would absolutely be worse than Bryce Young. I put my whole fucking money about that. Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. Kenny Pickett is also a system quarterback. Like I said, he's a product of the Steelers. Stop letting Patrick Mahomes being a good example of, you need an elite quarterback. You need a mix of both. You need an above average to an elite quarterback, and you need a good head coach. Otherwise, and a good infrastructure. Otherwise, you will fail. Andrew Luck is a good example of carrying the Colts team only to an AFC title game but they never won the Super Bowl because the Colts were a terrible organization for him. Like, we need these elite quarterbacks. At least they went to a infrastructure. Tom Brady went to an organization where they were making. I believe they were making the playoffs with Drew Bledsoe, but it was, and Tom Brady literally went to a perfect scenario where he had a defense. For 10 years, Tom Brady was a game manager before he started to become very good. Matthew Stafford was stat padding in Detroit. But the Detroit was a terrible organization. He gets traded to the Rams and they win the Super Bowl because they were a good team. Where this plays into Justin Fields is Justin Fields I don't believe, has a good coaching staff, which I believe if you drop Justin Fields in any other organization, he would flourish. The Eagles, the 49ers, you name any infrastructure that's the best in the NFL right now, and he would flourish. I'll put my whole fucking money on that right now. He would definitely succeed with the Eagles, 49ers. He would succeed with the Chiefs. He'll succeed with the Bills. You put Justin Fields on the best team available, and he'll flourish. I guarantee it. Put money on it. Like I said, Kyler Murray, a good example too. And rarely do I think Kyler Murray will be a good quarterback. But Kyler Murray went to the Cardinals. The Cardinals have had a terrible head coach. We don't know anything about Jonathan Gannon. And overall, Kyler Murray, in his overall career, does not have a good head coach. If he was on any other team like the Eagles, the 49ers, Kyler Murray would flourish. You need a mix of both. You need a good quarterback and you need a good head coach. Otherwise, you will fail. You don't need an elite quarterback because elite quarterbacks, if you name me an elite quarterback that won a Super Bowl with a terrible head coach, I'll wait. Because every quarterback has gotten developed their own way. And people want to say Joe Burrow with the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, let me remind you something. The Cincinnati Bengals made the playoffs 3 times under Andy Dalton. The Bengals had success before Joe Burrow. The Jaguars, before Trevor Lawrence, they were always mid, above 500, and because they had a defense that can carry them. Remember, aka Saxonville? Like I said, it's a mix of both. You can't have one without the other. You need an above average to an elite quarterback, and you need a good head coach. You can't have one without the other. Which is why the Patrick Mahomes syndrome is ruining, and it's affecting how NFL fans view the NFL now. That you need an elite quarterback. No, you fucking don't. I guarantee you, if Patrick Mahomes was drafted to the Bears or the Browns, he would have been an absolute bust. I guarantee it. So anyways, that's all for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching.